Good evening and welcome to virtual Thompson Speedway in Thompson, Connecticut, just up the road from where our round 2 battle took place at Lime Rock. We come to you tonight for 100 laps at this 1 kilometer track. Got about 10 cars in the lineup tonight, just finishing up qualifying, so we'll let them finish getting their times in. Looks like all but one is going to be taking a lap, and we'll get to the starting grid. All right, as we work our way toward to the grid, take a look at our race tonight. Like I said, got about 100 laps tonight. Hopefully we have better luck than we did a couple weeks ago on the last oval that we visited at USA Speedway. We had some issues with some yellows. A few guys just couldn't quite get the braking under control. Yours truly was one of them, so I'm not about to judge. Said 100 laps. Beautiful evening here, virtual Thompson, Connecticut. Significantly different than the real Thompson, Connecticut is seeing tonight. We wish everybody there well. Hopefully they're able to dig out and stay safe from the brutal weather that the Northeast United States is receiving this week. Partly cloudy sky, sun's just getting set, so we'll see some lights on these guys as we proceed through the race. As we look through the starting grid, see Eric Jeffers, followed by Justin Kirby. On up beside Justin Kirby, then row 2 we've got David Hall. It's next to Christopher Matresian. Lights are out on the pace car. Eric Jeffers is going to be bringing them to the line here. Been down blistering lap, about 0.2 of a second higher than second place Justin Kirby during qualifying. Pace car's pulled off. Pull off soon, and we will get underway. We are green at Thompson. Jeffers leading in corner 1. Looks like Justin Kirby got a little bit loose there, going for a ride on the wall. Let's see what might have happened there right off the start. Take you back to the start here. See Kirby looking a little bit twitchy coming out of 4 there. Goes around, yeah, just a little bit loose on braking there, and decides to go for a ride. Cold tires on this thing can really be your worst enemy when you start these oval races, as we saw at USA. So hopefully we've gotten that out of our system and we'll be able to just roll through and get some good laps turned here to start the race. All right, lights are out. Let's give this another shot. Got Eric Jeffers flanked by Travis Bennett. Right behind them, we've got Series Director Scott Bolster and David Hall, and we're green again at Thompson. We'll take a closer look at driver Eric Jeffers leading this race. A guy who said he didn't have a lot of experience on this track coming into tonight, but you definitely couldn't tell that by looking at it. He's already opened up almost a second lead on Travis Bennett. Jeffers was a pretty consistent driver in the Eucora IndyCar Series of this year. Ended up finishing 15th in points. A couple top 10s that he brought home there. Just pretty consistent in his starts and start and finish positions. So if that holds true tonight, he will be set pretty well, I think. Jump back here for 1 second. Got a pretty good battle for 5th going on between Bolster and Jenkins. Jenkins, the 2nd place finisher in the Eucora IndyCar Series this year, just short of Brian Beard's point total. During the last race, ended up less than 100 points behind. His total was fueled mostly by consistent finishes with 15 top 10s and 9 in the top 5, but just never could stand in the middle spot of the podium. And points wise, that's pretty much what made the difference this year. It was his 0 wins to 4, so I'm sure he'll be back next year looking to definitely improve upon that. Jenkins gets a run going down into the turn and just catches the corner of Bolster. Looks like Kirby's going for another ride.
I came up. Sorry, dude.
Oh, that's essentially my race. I'm going to be putting laps in. Yeah, if I wouldn't have plum duckered it on lap 1.
Sorry about that, minor audio issue, but we've cleared that up. Just as soon as we got started and Bennett was able to get a jump out on Jeffers this time around, we are back to yellow.
Well, sorry, but he bounced off the wall and suddenly slowed up on exit.
Damn it. Okay, now we've got all the bugs worked out, just in time to get back to our yellow laps here. Missed that last restart. Bennett did get a jump out on front of Jeffers, so we'll see if he can do that again, or if race director decides to kick us back to single file restarts as we did previously at USA when we had some issues on the restarts. Did seem to clean a few things up a little bit, so we'll see if that's an option they decide to take here. And just like that, we are a quarter of the way through this race. One thing that'll be interesting to see is whether or not anybody decides to take some tires at some point this race. We do have a resident road course expert in this vehicle that some of you may remember from the show that he put on last week. Scott Callaghan, our resident Australian, as well as our road course expert in these cars. Also the sole taker of the Ugly Christmas Sweater challenge this week, so he'll be taking home some bonus points for the, not sure how we want to describe it, but it's definitely a paint job. So I'm sure this will be on Trading Paints if it isn't already, and you can go ahead and decorate your car just the same as you see from him there. He was saying before the race that don't really need tires as much on these, but I think that the oval course experts may end up disagreeing before the night's over. Lights are out on top of the pace car. We're going to give this one more try, double file it looks like. With Travis Bennett leading the way, and he is on the loud pedal ready to go. He's not wasting any time getting after it. Trying to open up a little bit of a gap there to Jeffers, but Jeffers is not going to give anything up here. He does fall back a little bit with race week 1 winner William Alcala right on his bumper, followed by Paul Jenkins. Take a look at that race that's going on right now. As I mentioned, William Alcala new to this series, joining up with us just during the Snowball Series here. Been happy to have him aboard, and may have been fortunate taker of a few yellow flags in that first week that worked him up to the front, but he was in the right place at the right time, and sometimes that's all you can hope for. So he's got a mirror full of Jenkins here, fighting for third place, if you can see.
Caution, yellow flag.
We have another caution out. Let's see who pulled that one. Yep, David Hall getting loose there, coming out of turn 2. See if he had any help or if he just took that ride all on his own. Like just got a little too aggressive on that pedal coming out of the turn. Forward with him here as he comes around. Yep, just a little too hot. You can hear those tires spin as he comes around into the back straight. Re-rack them and try again. All right, we've got series manager Scott Bolster on the radio. What are you seeing out there, Scott? How's the car handling?
It's pretty good. You got to manage your corner entry. You can't overdrive it because you're in traffic and there is a lot of aero understeer. So there is a lot of aero push here, deceptively a lot more than you would expect on this car. And passing is definitely at a premium because of it.
We've definitely seen that. It looks like we've kind of seen it swap back and forth between Jeffers and Bennett up front, and once they get out into that clean air, they are walking away. So you need to keep these guys reeled in if you want to have a chance at it tonight.
Yeah, there's going to be a sweet spot for how far behind that you want to stay, so you can keep air on your nose and still kind of keep in contact with them, but. I think mistakes are whoever can make the least amount of mistakes is gonna move their way up through the running order.
Sounds like a pretty fair assessment. Thanks a lot, Scott. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Green flag, green flag.
Looks as though the pace car may have decided to. There we go, get that off the track, and we've got Bennett back out there, taking the lead away, keeping Jeffers at bay. Looks like Jeffers got into the wall just a little bit, must have brushed some speed there. He's got Paul Jenkins slowly crawling his way up the field here, getting right into his mirror, so we'll see if Paul can close that gap up a little bit, or if Bennett and Jeffers are going to be able to open it up a little ways. Like the single file restart rule has been kicked into effect, really spread these guys out. Should lead to a few more green flag laps as the run goes on. See if we can keep these guys going at speed a little longer. Gonna step back into the field here. We've got a pretty good battle heating up between Scott Bolster and David Hall. We had a little bit of debate on whether or not David's normal paint job would qualify for a holiday themed paint job, but I think that we've decided that the chrome Christmas bulbs might not quite fit the bill, so we'll see what he has to say about that when it's all over. And looks like he is able to get underneath Bolster and make the pass up into 5th place. We've got another contender right here up in this mix. Scott Callaghan has joined the fray, and we'll see if he can work his way past Scott as well. Really need to get a little more diversity in our naming schemes here, I think, but we'll be able to keep everyone straightened out as the series goes on. We see Justin Kirby up in this fray a little bit as well, but it's a little bit deceptive. We're used to seeing him running up front, but due to some issues with hanging up on the wall the second time he went airborne, looks like he's lost a few laps. He's out here for the advertising at this point, so we'll make sure to get his sponsors a little bit of a look here. He's wearing the paint scheme brought to you by D2 Race Designs, specializing in button boxes and other sim racing equipment. Owner of that is a perennial favorite up until this year when he bowed out of the Lionheart Racing League. Dan can set you up pretty well with any 3D printed needs. We're going to jump back up front here because Eric Jeffers has really closed up the gap on Travis Bennett at this point. They're kind of a 2-horse race right now. The next car back's 2 seconds behind. That's Paul Jenkins. So he's not really in the picture. So we're going to watch these two go at it a little bit and see what they can, see if Jeffers has anything for Travis or if he's going to be able to hold him off as we hit the halfway mark on this race. Bennett makes a move to the inside. Looks like he might be able to make it stick, but Jeffers is able to get past him as Bennett goes a little bit high, but Bennett's not giving up any ground, going back around. And try to see if he can make that high line work. Don't know if he's going to start working up there just for tires, getting a little more push, or he is just going to give Jeffers the spot and see if he can work his way back there. From personal experience, Travis is not somebody that I ever enjoy seeing in my mirror in these races. He usually gets pretty big, pretty fast in that mirror, so hopefully Jeffers can open up a little bit of a gap here just to hold him off. Another pretty good battle heating up back here for third between Paul Jenkins and Christopher Matresian. It's like Chris has been able to work his way up from the start as well and see if he can close the gap on Paul. One of the things that's really understated if you've never driven this car is that we spoke about it last week a little bit at Lime Rock, but it wasn't quite as much on display. And even Thompson's a pretty short track to be talking about the draft a whole lot, but these cars punch an absolutely massive hole in the air when they get onto the straightaways. So if you're able to get in just the right spot, like Bolster was saying earlier, you can really make up ground on somebody if you can get right in that perfect spot and are able to come out of a turn with enough momentum. You can really make their life difficult going into the next turn. So we'll see if Chris is able to put any of these together on a couple laps and close the gap even further on Paul before Paul gets too much clean air and starts catching back up to Travis. Looks like Travis has fallen back a little bit from Eric at this point. Not sure if he's looking for that yellow flag to get some new rubber or if he's just trying to save. All right, with 40 laps left in this race, we are joined again by Mike Ellis of the iRacers Lounge podcast. Mike, how you doing tonight? You're really quiet right now. Can't quite hear him, but he's going to get his mic issues worked out and we'll get him in the booth here.
Hey, can you hear me?
There we got you, Mike. Welcome to the show.
How you doing today?
Not too bad. How are you doing? Been
Good. Sorry I'm late. I was here a few minutes early, but I've been eating and kind of watching the show. These guys been screaming for a caution, it sounds like.
yeah, they're hoping for one. I think they got a little spoiled at USA when they could get a new set of tires whenever they felt like it. I think we might actually end up seeing some green flag stops if these guys keep burning on that right front as we go along. Might end up being worth it if enough of them want to come in.
Getting tight, 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 I understand, as the tires wear.
Yeah, Eric doesn't seem to be a problem for Eric Jeffers. He's opened up a 3.5 second lead over Travis Bennett at this point, and he is not looking in the mirror.
Must have saved his tires somehow. And
Yeah, he was just saying it's hard to right now. It's hard to look away from this battle here for third, as we've got Paul Jenkins, Chris Matresian, and David Hall just all over each other here. We'll see how this pans out. Eric was saying before this race that he had never even turned a lap at Thompson, so this might just be his new favorite track if everything keeps going this way for him.
yeah, and he's starting to extend that lead. It just bounced up another 0.3 over Travis Bennett in second. But yeah, the battle here is for third, fourth, and fifth. Looks like Paul got a little bit of breathing room there from Christopher Mitrisian. As David Hall is taking a look on Christopher now.
Yeah, he's taking a look to the inside there, and he's been pretty solid tonight. Just really wheeling that thing, and had a little bit of an incident earlier where he got a little bit loose on corner exit, but doesn't sound like that's going to be happening too much for the rest of this race unless they can come in for some new tires.
Yeah, David tries the inside on Christopher, but he can't get it done. It's too tight. He had to back off and get back in line. One thing that threw me off a little bit is these headlights on these cars on an oval track. I'm just not used to seeing it, I guess.
Yeah, you're really not used to seeing that. The sun was setting just as this race started, and it kind of throws you off a little bit seeing headlights coming around on the grandstands. As we focus on this battle, it's the best one on the track so far. We're not trying to leave anybody out, but we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge Christopher Matresian, sixth place finisher in the Ecora IndyCar Series this year. Had a couple top fives and ended up with 9 top 10 finishes. Just shy of Jeff Wobker for 5th place, so he was a constant favorite week after week. He'll be interesting to watch as next year comes up on us.
Yeah, Christopher is an oval racer too. I mean, I saw him last week and we raced together on the iRacing Super Speedway, that new track, the 3-mile oval. And he was running with us, and he ran I don't remember where he finished, but he was out there looking sharp.
Yeah, definitely the oval racer. I remember being on track with him in a few ovals and a few road courses, and he was always good on those ovals, always a contender.
And he's got the perfect line that David Hall doesn't know where to go. He's probably too tight to complete the pass. He keeps trying to get it done on the inside. He's got to run this time side by side, but we'll see if David Hall can complete it.
Looked like Chris did a really good job holding his line there and was able to just stay up in that middle line that has really been.
And he's able to drive deeper than David too into the corner, so that's helping him keep that spot.
Like David side by side with him going in this time around. Looks like he might be able to make it stick. Did he make it? Not yet.
Definitely heating up his tires doing that too.
Yes, yeah. I think at this point Chris might be better off just keeping this pace up and riding that middle line and waiting for David's tires to give up on him here, because Like the worst thing that might happen is if David washes up, but I don't think he's going to do that. He did make it
He
around that
got it
time.
this time.
Looked like Chris started washing up a bit and just wasn't able to hold on to it.
There was a little bit of contact there, it looked like,
Was there?
going into that last set of turns before he was able to get by. I don't know if that contributed.
That could be what it took to do it. Never know. Just
It was ever so slight, but that's normal in oval racing, a little bump and run, as they call it.
Right, just enough to upset that car, and especially on these a little bit older tires, you're going to see a big difference there.
Well, it looks like the biggest mover from qualifying to where they're at now is probably Paul Jenkins. Started 8th, running 3rd. And then the person who has fallen through the field is Justin Kirby, who's actually, I think he's out of the race at 10 laps down. But up front, it's Eric Jeffers with a huge lead, 6.9 seconds over Travis Bennett. Then, as I mentioned, Paul Jenkins 3rd. He's about 1.5 back from there. David Hall's another 2nd back. Then Christopher Mitrisian, Scott Bolster, Scott Callaghan, William Alcala rounds out our runners tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, Justin Kirby apparently wanted to do a little tribute to the Wright brothers' famous flight on its anniversary today, and decided to see how far he could send his car airborne up onto the wall earlier, and had to take a tow. Ended up losing 2 or 3 laps on that, and just couldn't get the momentum back. So bummer to see him bow out for the night, but I can just about guarantee he'll be back and in fighting spirit for Daytona in a few weeks.
We're coming up to 10 laps to go. This is going to be over shortly. I don't expect cautions with only this many drivers. So I know when I was on the Discord earlier, they were screaming for one. But boy, they didn't get it. And, it makes you think they should have stopped on that last caution and got tires.
Yeah, I don't know if any of them thought they were going to finish this race on green. And I can tell you there's definitely one driver that just is hoping and praying right now that they do, and that is Eric Jeffers with his 7.5-second lead. Coming up on some lap traffic in William Alcala here, our week 1 winner. We'll see if Eric's able to...
He's catching him quick, too. I'm kind of surprised by the difference in pace.
He is. I don't know where Eric stored those extra tires at, but he seems to have something right now that nobody else on the track does.
And what's interesting is where is the lap car going to go? Is he going to stay high, stay low, or just keep his lane and the leader will have to figure out, which way to go. Am I going to get to the inside or even try to drive to the outside? I was thinking that might have been a good move for David Hall when he's trying to get around Christopher is, hey, if it's not working on the inside, try to sneak around on the outside there. Because if you can get a fender on the outside, that'll force that car to stay low, and sometimes you can keep momentum on that second lane.
Yeah, as we've been talking, David Hall is using every trick he learned back from that battle with Matrisian as he works on Paul Jenkins' rear bumper. Like David's trying to get a little icing on the cake for his birthday here, so we'll see if he can end up on the podium tonight or not.
Yeah, happy birthday to my friend David Hall. He's 45 today. Congratulations on that. And what do you do on your birthday? You race Eucora.
Hey, I don't see any better way to spend it. That's how I would spend mine. I think that might actually be how I did spend mine this year, so.
Yeah, we're all racers at heart, and that's what we love to do. So let's talk quickly about the Eucora name change. I heard there's going to be a name change for this next year.
Yeah, apparently the powers that be decided that it had just a few too many words in it. So we're working through the process of seeing if we can make it something that rolls off the tongue a little better. And it's definitely not going to change anything about the league. Obviously, the focus in both the Indy and Tin Tops is the classic nature of things. The older, kind of more just straight up horsepower, less aero dependent versions of the cars we love to watch today. True to schedules, weather, pretty much everything, right down to the way that the race was run during the previous eras.
And
So,
that's it. That was the white. Now
yeah,
Eric Jeffers wins it
Jeffers
and
takes the win.
hits the wall right after the checker.
Those tires must have held out just long enough.
Yeah, he held behind that lap car and actually lost about 3 seconds to second place, but he knew the end was coming. He had no worries, no pressure from behind. Nice win for Eric Jeffers.
Absolutely. Great work, Eric. Finishing order. Eric. Oh, Eric gets a little love
Oh, they
tap.
put him right into
Love
victory
tap
lane.
there,
How
right
about
onto
that?
the checkers. Oh man.
How about that replay?
That was a little bit of a punt right there. Let's see. He's
But look where the car is sitting.
just
If
wanting
I'm
to
on the blimp view.
do some burnouts, and they just landed him right on the flag there. So
The checkered flag that's painted on behind the wall. There's a big checkered flag painted on the ground. Somebody ran over our winner there and launched him over the wall and onto that big checkered flag. Yeah, no burnouts or donuts tonight.
nope, he's just yep. Looks like our second place finisher Travis Bennett is pulling up to offer his apologies and do some burnouts in Eric's stead here. So we will let him celebrate that, and we're going to be right back. Going to do a quick interview with our podium finishers here, so stick around. Eric, you there? Hey, want to do a quick interview? All right, we are here with our winner, Eric Jeffers, who unfortunately didn't get to do the burnouts he may have wanted. Uh,
Yeah,
what did we miss?
my friend Travis for that.
Looked like he got a little under you there at the end, but uh, so I guess the main question we've got for you is, where did you find those tires at? Where did you get what nobody else had? Because we were at a loss watching this.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of found a couple things in practice, and but it was really tough behind somebody. Even when I caught the lap car, I was just stuck there in dirty air. And so when Travis got me on that restart, I kind of thought it was over. I mean, I was better than him, but it was so hard to pass, and I was able to get by him and set sail. But yeah, it was a fun race, fun little racetrack, and yeah, I'm happy. We'll take it.
Yeah, good
Hey,
work.
Eric, Mike Ellis here. Hey, question for you. When you caught that lap car, were you desperate to get around him? Because you actually lost about 2 or 3 seconds to second place there as you finished up the race behind the lap car.
Yeah, at first I caught him, and well, I was hoping he would just give it to me. Then I made a couple attempts to try to pass him, but then I was watching the interval, and I figured, I can just ride behind him, and I'll probably be fine instead of trying to get by him and get myself into trouble or take him out or something. But I understand what he was trying to do. If a caution comes out, he would have stayed on the lead lap, and that's fair game. So I was like, I'll just ride behind him and bring it home.
Is it too tight to try to pass on the inside, probably?
Yeah, there's not much of a bottom lane, and you're just tight behind somebody in general. And like I said, when on the restarts, I wish iRacing would get with the times and let the leader decide what lane he wants to restart in, because if you're on the top, that's definitely an advantage.
How about the choose cone?
Choose cone, yeah, that'd be good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like the single file restarts definitely cleaned things up this week, so that was really good to see compared to a couple weeks ago. That was a pretty rough outing for everyone, so That single file looked like everyone was quite a bit cleaner this time around and ran a good race. Great job, Eric. Hopefully next time we'll be able to get you some burnouts, though. Won't go
Yeah, right.
straight to victory lane.
Yeah, these cars actually did it to Travis under yellow. I went to give him a little bump, and the front end of these kind of serves as a ramp, and he just launched them.
Yeah,
So
we saw that.
yeah, if that's all right. If Travis wins one of these, I'll probably return the favor.
That's how you do it. Well, thanks a lot, Eric. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and we are here with our second place finisher. Looked like he must have wanted to be first place, though, the way that he sent Eric up into the grandstands. Travis, how was that race? That was a lot of work being put on by you guys out there.
Oh man, yeah, it was great. Yeah, I wanted to say sorry to Eric. I completely forgot that these cars launched each other like that, but it's all in good fun, man. I took over the lead. The first restart, I noticed how Eric would pull out up front when he starts on the bottom, so I just kind of anticipated that for the next restart and kind of had it figured out. But once I had it figured out, we didn't have any more restarts, so Eric eventually caught me and just walked away with it.
Yeah, that definitely seemed to be the story of the night. Got all the kinks worked out in that first third of the race, and then there was really no looking back. I don't know if that was for better or for worse for the way that lap times were looking.
Yeah, Eric was calling out his lap times, and he was quicker than I was when he was in dirty air behind a lap car, and I was in clean air. So he definitely found something that we didn't.
Hey Travis, Mike Ellis here. So you were fighting there for best of the rest, it looked like, when you were 6 to 9 seconds back from the leader. Any concern about Paul or David coming up behind you there? They were starting to get close.
Yeah, the car started getting tighter and tighter, and I seen him get bigger and bigger in the mirror, and uh, I was slightly concerned, but I also seen it how close we were to the checkered flag, and as long as I didn't get too tight and lose focus and smack the wall, I knew I'd have been good.
All right, nice run.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks a lot, Eric. Thanks a lot, Travis. Good run.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right, and we are now here with our third place driver, Paul Jenkins. It looked like you pretty much wanted to duke it out with everybody tonight. Little fisticuffs there early in the race, but then everything else was pretty much settled on the track. How did that run up from the back work for you?
Apologies to Scott and Kirby. I can't say that was my brightest moment, but yeah, it's you can't even get close to touching anywhere in these cars; they just spin right out, and so that was not the best move I'd have made all night. But really, third place through attrition. Basically, I got one on the start, but passing here is kind of a thing. So I was just content to keep up with Travis there, and just kind of just bide my time. And got a little bit of attack from David late in the race. I was a little worried about him. He was making up good time, but I think he may have burned it up. So held on to third.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Paul, Mike Ellis here. I was saying that you got more positions than anybody, starting eighth and end up third. Um, but it looked like David was coming there at the end. Were you worried?
I was, yeah. He made sure work in Matrincian, and I was seeing him coming up, and I knew that passing here was very difficult. So all I had to really do is just keep my line and make him go around me. And looks like he made a couple of shots at it, but like I say, if you don't set it up perfectly and the guy in front of you doesn't make a mistake, passing here is nearly impossible. So just concentrated on hitting my marks and make him do the work, and it turned out all right.
Yeah, Paul,
All right, nice run.
I believe, are you running a double tonight? Is that what I hear?
Yeah, I'm just about to hop on the helicopter and fly over to Auto Club here and get going on the retro series.
Well, I hope the weather's good enough that chopper can take off. That's going to have to be a pretty quick flight to get there from Connecticut. So good luck over there in the retro series. Enjoy that season closer, and we'll see you back here at Daytona in a few weeks. How's that sound?
Virtual SR71. Yep, yeah, we'll give her a go. I'm not the swiftest on road courses here, but you never know. You know, luck can go my way.
Yeah,
We'll
a
see you
lot
guys
of
in a little.
good luck, Paul. Thanks a lot. Good run.
Yeah, we'll see you.
All right, and with that, we wrapped up week 3 of the Spotlights Snowball Series brought to you by Eucora. Be sure to check out the iRacers Lounge podcast. Looks like you guys have a new show up.
Yeah, it's coming up later tonight. We'll have it posted, maybe a couple hours from now.
Sounds good. Definitely looking forward to checking that out. That's always a nice thing on a Friday afternoon to kick on in the background. So be sure to check that out. And our next race is January. Goodness, can't even believe December's already over, much less the year 2020 almost. Next race is going to be January 7th. That is from the Daytona Road Course. So give these guys a few weeks to get the bugs out and see if we can fill the field a little more, and look forward to putting on a good show for you then.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fun watching this series over the winter break, and Merry Christmas to everybody out there.
Yes, be safe for your holidays. Hope that you are able to somehow enjoy them with your family, whether it's through a computer screen or through responsible distance, I suppose. Uh, Happy holidays, everybody, and we'll see you next year.